Kevin, if I were to start referring to you as Kevinini Russellini, what would that mean to you?
I would think it was some sort of mockery of my Italian heritage.
I would never. What about Tralalero Tralala? You know him?
No, I think you're having a stroke.
What about Bombardino Crocodilo?
Okay, now this is just getting ridiculous.
Ballerina Cappuccina?
Nope.
All right. Listen, if you or someone you love recognizes any of these terms, Kevin, you may be suffering from a case of Italian brain rot.
I'm almost afraid to ask. I have not been following this story, although I know you were very excited to tell me about it today. What is going on with Italian brain rot?
Do not be afraid of Italian brain rot, Kevin. If you have been on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube over the past many weeks, you may have encountered this unique form of AI-enabled insanity.
Now, typically, I know that brain rot refers to this kind of feeling of, I don't know, cognitive decline related to excessive use of social media or something like that. People on TikTok are always complaining about their brain rot. But what is Italian brain rot?
Well,
wait, sorry, by the way, I don't have Italian heritage. I just made that up.
And do you have a brain? Anyways.
No comment.
Okay, so listen, if you want to catch up on this, I highly recommend a story in the Times by Alicia Haridasani Gupta, who kind of catches you up. This stuff started to emerge in January, and it really is an AI phenomenon. You know, recently, Kevin, we've seen advances in some of these text-to-video generators. So you might be able to, for example, create a short clip of a little coffee cup that is also a ballerina. Well, congratulations. You just invented ballerina cappuccina.
I mean, to me, like, this is sort of the difference between this age of viral content and previous generations of viral content. Like, I spend a lot of time on TikTok, but I have literally never seen anything about Italian brain rot. Like, it's such a contrast to, like, everyone knew that Ice Bucket Challenge was happening, right? Because you could see it everywhere, but things have become so, like, siloed and atomized that, like, you could tell me literally anything was happening on TikTok, and the millions of people were into it. It was the trend sweeping the youth, and I would have no idea. So either that means I'm old or something has changed about social media.
Well, look, this is why you have to have your younger colleagues like myself come in and tell you what's happening in middle school.
You are not younger than me.
Well, spiritually, I think there's a case for it. So listen, there's no way to talk about Italian brain rot that improves on the experience of actually watching it. So let's watch a couple clips of brain rot, and I believe we have one queued up.
I hope I get hazard pay for this.
Tung 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 sahur. Brr brr patapim.
Wow, that's trippy.
Capu cappuccino assassino.
Whoa.
Troppa trippa. Brr baloni lulilolli. Capibarello cocossini. Liri li lari là. Elefante nel deserto che cammina qua e là. Trallallero trallallà. Porco.
So this is Italian brain rot?
This is Italian brain rot. You know, you're probably grasping the Italian part because they're sort of being voiced in this over-the-top Italian accent. And all of these sort of strange phrases that you're hearing are the names of the characters. So I know you're probably wondering, who is Trippy Troppy Troppa Trippa? And that's a shrimp with a cat head.
Trippi troppi. Troppa trippa.
So I love this one because, you know, a lot of meme explainers, there's like a lot of excavating to do of where did this come from and what this about. Here, it really is just what it says on the tin. It is an Italian accent over a series of images that make you feel like you're going insane.
Yes. And was this made by an Italian?
No. In fact, in the Times, one of the main creators, this was the person who created Ballerina Cappuccina, was Susanu Savatudor, who is a 24-year-old from Romania, and who told the Times that this is just a form of absurd humor that really has very little to do with Italy. But this creator just sort of created the name Ballerina Cappuccina, and they've gotten more than 45 million views on TikTok and 3.8 million likes.
Oh my God. At the risk of explaining a joke and thereby killing it, like, is there any point to Italian brain rot? Is it making some sort of social commentary? Is it trying to say, like, Italians are big users of social media and therefore are getting brain rot?
Well, so I actually do have a theory about this. Like, I think here is what makes this feel new is that whatever this is actually does feel fresh. And we live in a time where everything that Hollywood is giving us feels like a recycled version of something else. We are on phase 6 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And in that world where it's like, oh, and here's Ant-Man's cousin, people are saying, F that, give me Ballerina Cappuccina.
It does just feel like there is some like organic hunger out there for just like really stupid, just like really random, like stuff that has no connection to any known, IP. Just like really, like I was thinking about this recently. The Minecraft movie is like a big hit, right? People are, it's like one of the biggest movies of the year.
Yeah.
And there's this moment in the movie, apparently, I've not seen it, but where someone says the word chicken jockey. Jack Black does, I think. And at that moment, like teens and other young people have decided that this is the moment in the movie to like stand up and cause a ruckus. They start throwing popcorn. Someone actually, I saw, brought a live chicken to the theater and like held it up. Like this feels like of a league with Chicken Jockey from the Minecraft movie, in the sense that it is just absurdist. Trying to explain it actually makes you dumber in some way, and so there's a kind of appealing randomness to it.
Yeah, and by the way, I think that is actually part of being a young person, is building a language that is inaccessible to people older than you, right? Like that is sort of how the identity formation process works. Is there are older people have no idea who Trippy Trippa is, and that is something that you can talk about with your friends that belongs just to you.
What are some of the other ones?
Okay, well, so I'm glad you asked, because we haven't actually watched enough of these videos yet.
Yes,
Kevin,
bring on the Italian brain rot.
Kevin, I would now like to direct your attention to one Salamino Pinguino.
Salamino pinguino, mezzo salame, mezzo pinguino. Tutto problema. Non scivola, si affetta. Non parla, sibila. Mamma mia! Mangia mozzarella fusa e sputa peperoni piccanti. Salamino pinguino. La leggenda della salumeria. Salamino
This is like a
pinguino.
penguin covered in salami.
Like wearing almost like a sort of headdress made out of salami. Now, let's take a look at Glorbo.
Glorbo, frutto drillo. Nel profondo della palude, Glorbo frutto drillo regnava.
Okay, this is a crocodile or alligator with a watermelon for a body.
This is a still image with 578,000 likes. Everybody loves Glorbo.
Is this even real Italian? Are we sure it's real Italian?
I'm pretty sure it's not real Italian. Now, I know what you're saying. You're saying, Casey, these characters, they're just standing around. Like, that seems like super boring. What if I were to tell you that other creators are now incorporating them into dramas, Kevin?
Oh, boy.
Let's take a look at one of those. And this one stars Tralalero Tralala, who is a shark wearing sneakers.
And is that Ballerina Cappuccina, I see?
That is Ballerina Cappuccina, and she's with Dong 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 Sahur.
Tonga, 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 and tongue, tongue, tongue.
So he leaves for the day, and oh, there comes Tralalero Tralala, the shark, and now they're kissing in bed. And oh no, Ballerina Cappuccina's pregnant.
Tung, 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 tung.
And now Tung 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 Sahur's chasing after the shark. And that's Bombolini Crocodini, and he sends in an airstrike. So let's just review. That was, I don't know, that was 10 or 15 seconds. In that, you see two of these characters. One of them gets into an affair, has a love child. Her partner finds out and then sends in an airstrike to attack the sort of cheater. So they're doing a lot in 15 seconds. Yeah.
Wow. That was not a Pixar film. That was really something. I feel like I'm on a very powerful psychedelic right now.
Well, you mentioned earlier that, in the old days, we would do things like the Ice Bucket Challenge. Kevin, what if I told you that some of these characters these Italian brain rot characters are actually doing the Ice Bucket Challenge? Yeah, let's watch that one.
My name is Chimpanzini Bananini, and I've been nominated for the USC Speak Your Mind Brain Rot Ice Bucket Challenge.
This is a chimpanzee who is also a banana. And he's nominating the other characters to do the Ice Bucket Challenge.
This is so dumb.
Yeah. It's
very funny though. I am like genuinely laughing at this, but it is like I could not explain to you why this is funny if you paid me.
Well, listen, I have done a little bit of comedy in my life, and one thing that I learned in improv was that everyone goes nuts for an over-the-top Italian accent. It's extremely funny. All I have to do is say, make a bowl of spaghetti. You're already laughing. See? I don't even do anything. The Italian brain rot functions much in the same way, but they are taking advantage of this AI thing. And look, we talked earlier on this show, these systems are being trained with other people's art without their consent. There are some people who feel like you can never make anything truly creative or truly artistic with AI. And yet here you have this bona fide viral phenomenon that is people making extremely silly stuff using AI, and it is resonating with us. And I think this has been one of the more counterintuitive lessons of AI slop. Is a year or so ago, we were looking at images of shrimp Jesus all over Facebook, and we were saying, that seems silly. I'm sure the company is going to get rid of this. No, my friend. They're going to lean into it because there are riches that lie down this path, and Italian brain rot is the first example, I think, of that happening.
God, so I have a couple of reactions. One of them is, yes, I absolutely think that like AI has utility and that there are good things that have come out with it, but seeing Italian brain rot makes me want to nuke the data center. So I'm like, shut it all down. We've gone too far. But seriously, I do think there is something here, not just in the sort of like absurdist humor of this thing, but I do think there are going to be new kinds of entertainment that are birthed out of these tools because, if you wanted to make something like a ballerina with a cappuccino for a head, 10 years ago, like you needed to be an animator to do that, or at least have some facility with animating software. Now you just go into an AI tool and you type, give me a ballerina cappuccino, and out comes this like pretty perfect animation.
Yeah, which has always been the case for this sort of tool, by the way, is that it takes people who do not have those kinds of artistic skills and lets them express themselves creatively. If they can think it, they can visualize it, they can make it available to other people. Here is my case why this is actually a good thing, Kevin. I was thinking this morning about a few years back during the height of the crypto boom, when people started talking about how crypto could be used to fund these alternative worlds of entertainment, right? Like the Bored Apes Yacht Club was going to become this mega franchise. But what made it cool was that anybody could buy in.
Anyone could get a Slurp juice.
Anyone could get a Slurp juice, put it on a mutant ape, transform your mutant ape, etc. And people didn't really get into this because I think nobody wanted to be involved what was essentially like a homeowners association for creating entertainment. But I look at Italian brain rot and I see something similar happening where it's like, as far as I can tell, no one has a trademark on ballerina cappuccina or chimpanzini bananini. You could just sort of make your own version of it and put it up there, and nobody's going to issue a copyright strike. You can have these characters do whatever you want to. So it feels like there is actually a freedom in making this that people are really responding to. And so maybe we do actually get the next version of like crowdsource entertainment, and it all comes out of these bizarre text-to-video makers.
I gotta say, I believe you when you say that is a possible outcome, but my brain just goes immediately to like some office at like Disney headquarters where they're like watching these Italian brain rot memes and like furiously trying to license the IP to make like a series of 7 movies about chimpanzini bananini.
Yeah.
And I do think that there's a possibility that this becomes just like any other entertainment franchise.
It could go that way, but maybe that sort of robs it of the fun of it that makes it go viral today to begin with.
I mean, they're making movies out of Minecraft. They can make movies out of anything.
They're really running out of things to make movies out of, as far as I can tell. So do I lean optimistic about this? Yes. At the same time, do I think that if China had just sort of come up with this idea independently as a way of bringing down American civilization, it would be a great idea. If they were like, what if we just sort of did weird characters in Italian accents? Could that distract all of American middle schoolers for a year? Probably we're doing. How hard could it be?
This is all a CCP plot to undermine American sovereignty.
That's kind of always been the thing with TikTok. It's like, I don't think it's a Chinese plot to destroy America, but it is working.
Well, if Cappuccina Ballerina starts singing the praises of Xi Jinping, we'll know that something grave has gone wrong.
Yeah, we'll keep our eyes on that one.